Bonjour, ça va? I'm here at Charles de Gaulle Airport. We're flying with Air France on the Airbus A350 in business class. We have previously done this before on the Boeing 777-200, which is a little bit on the older side, so it's going to be a nice, new, fresh product today.
I can tell you're distracted, and yes, that is a giant cat sleeping peacefully on a pillow under some clouds. The last time we flew Air France, it was meant to be on their newer refurbished Boeing 777-300 from San Francisco, only to be swapped out for their oldest product on the 777-200. It wasn't in any way bad and the food was excellent. It's just their newer seats offer a more modern and private experience. And as I'm about to find out today, this isn't exactly straightforward with their more modern Airbus A350.
Now if you want to see the giant cat or the grand champ, then you'll have to go to the L terminals. Just be aware that the staff will probably say you're in the wrong terminal and try and get you to go elsewhere if you're not travelling from here, which is the case today, so I better get back to my game.
Air France uses all three sections of Terminal 2 Echo, but the M gates only support long distance routes, whereas the L and K gates are mixed use, supporting both long and short haul routes. Once you walk through the very elegant and French retail part of the M gate, you can take a shuttle which takes no more than 5 minutes before having to re-clear the security checkpoint.
So I made it to the K terminal and there's just about enough time to visit the lounge.
Unfortunately for me, I'd forgotten that at the time of booking I'd gone for business Lite fare, which is cheaper but also means I'm not entitled to lounge access, unless I have SkyTeam Gold status, which I don't. So here's some footage from a flight I took a few months ago on their shiny new Airbus A220 over to Dublin.
There are different fare types even for business class, and I picked business Lite, which does not include lounge access.
Looking at Air France 436, which is direct from Paris Charles de Gaulle to Bogota El Dorado Airport, as an example, there are three main options. Business Lite excludes free seat selection and lounge access, while Business Standard includes lounge access for €100 more, and Business Flex at €250 more than the base fare includes both lounge access and free seat selection. It doesn't take a genius to work out why I went for Business Lite, given you can select a seat for free at check-in, and is the lounge worth €50? I'll let you decide.
So I'm a little bit early to the gate, but that's okay because it is really busy here today. It's the end of June, so it's the summer holidays. Everybody's travelling. Anyway, let's have a quick look at today's journey map.
Departing at 15:40, Bogota is 5,362 miles away, and it will take 11 hours to reach, touching down the same day at 19:20. I'm pleased to say that boarding started exactly 60 minutes before departure, boarding with Group 1 and 2 with their own little queue. I'm also first in line because it's so much easier to show the cabin when there's no one else on board, before briefly waiting to board because the cabin crew weren't ready yet. Air France has two different layouts on the Airbus A350, with today's being the oldest Saffron Optima seats, which lack doors and are less preferable to customers. For today's flight, I'm sitting comfortably in 8 Alpha, which is close to the window, so pretty private. But the odd numbers are close to the aisle, and the same goes for the centre seats, which alternate. If you're travelling with a companion and you haven't just had an argument before boarding, then go for the even numbers in Echo and Golf. Otherwise, avoid the remaining seats unless you have no other options.
It's time for a seat tour.
Starting to my right, there is a large side table, which is useful for drinks and any snacks, with a very sizable storage cupboard with a beautiful brown leather pulley to open. It contains a complimentary water bottle and the headphones. And I'm not surprised to see it's a bottle of Evian. Below the side table are some very simple to use seat controls, and on the side of the storage cupboard are the light controls for the footwell. Hidden out of sight is a universal plug socket and USB-A port, with the best part about the seat being the gimmicky window shades. This will keep your kids entertained for hours while annoying the other passengers.
This isn't the newest seat, but it's pretty good. It has seen a little bit of wear and tear.
Air France isn't alone here, but for a plane that is nearly 5 years old, you have to wonder what it will look like in 10 years' time. Sometime during the flight, I woke up really warm, and this is problematic because Air France did not install any air vents. On the plus side, the seat is very comfortable, with the nice dark blue tones with 20 inches of width, converting into a full 6-foot flat bed, with the couple seats even larger at 7 foot in the flat mode. Before departure, the cabin crew handed out what I would call one of the prettiest hot towels I've ever seen on an airline. And how could I fly Air France without having a glass of champagne? The pillow is pretty formidable and large. It's very dark blue, which is a rarity, and while the matching blanket is one side dark blue, the other is light grey. Your guess is as good as mine which side is face up. And the amenity kit is a lovely texture, with the Air France logo, which I now understand is a winged seahorse, carried over from one of the founding airlines, Air Orient, which served routes to the Far East, with the usual items and a moisturising gel and beauty balm from Clarins of Paris. And what was a nice surprise is the slippers, which don't look overly cheap.
Chaque fois que ce signal est allumé, nous vous prions d'attacher votre ceinture.
Whenever the seatbelt sign is on, please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened.
The meal service starts off with a choice of drink, choosing the Montbouilly Fusée Albert Bichot 2022 wine. It's very nice, and also comes with a complimentary glass of still water. Crepes Fourré is sort of like cheese in crispy filo pastry. The box isn't very large, but I could snack on these the whole flight. The appetizer is summer vegetables with mint-used cheese and black olives. And with things off to a very tasty start, let's take a look inside the menu. Much like with other 5-star airlines, and I'm so happy to see this, you can order from the main menu, but if you're not hungry or you're feeling pretty jet lagged, you can pick from the anytime menu, or just have this as a second course before landing. Already very satisfied with the pre-meal appetizer, I decide I have more than enough room for the tangy crab, green vegetable salad and pickled radish, which is beautifully presented alongside this delicious looking bread roll, and the salad comes with an olive oil and balsamic dressing. I was torn between the cod and the chicken, but the chicken with multigrain couscous, zucchini with lemon sounds like a very light and hearty meal to lead me on to the dessert. I have no idea what came over me, but perhaps it was the suggestive and lovely cabin crew, because whilst I wanted to end it with the individual chocolate dessert, which was beautiful, I somehow also ended up with a plate of different and very wonderful French cheeses. I couldn't have wanted more, and this is a great example of Air France cuisine. The French are so proud of their language, and if I spoke it too, I would be as well. So it was a wonderful surprise to see such an extensive list of English titles, for those who sadly weren't blessed with the romantic accent and the lingo. The in-flight entertainment screen is very sharp and crisp, and it's 18.5 inches, which is slightly higher than the current average. The headphones also look premium and they were very comfortable for the duration of the flight. With this being a daytime flight, I didn't really have any intention of trying to sleep. The bathroom on the Airbus A350 is as modern as you can get, and despite being many tones of white, it somehow has a slightly nice ambience. with the only colour coming from the Clarins of Paris products, adding hints of yellow and red. The tap on the sink has a touch-free sensor, and that's pretty much all I can say. On my way back to the seat, I take note there's a nice little selection of drinks available in the galley. I've been tempted away from my usual English breakfast to the majesty of the Imperial Chai, which sounds imperial. The seat, I have to say, is very comfortable, and even the footwell, which is slightly restricted due to its design for the space for the seats in front, is pretty good. I'm reclining into a more relaxed state, and settling into the second of the Dune films, which is much better than I expected, with Timothée Chalamet, who is a French-American actor and very popular, having recently been in the Dune saga, Wonka, Call Me By Your Name, and The French Dispatch. Having lost track of time, it's just 2 hours before we land into Bogota, and I've moved on to Isn't It Romantic, which I have to admit I didn't enjoy the first time. The smells from the galley suggest it's nearly dinner. There are only two options, with the cheese ravioli with creamy mushroom sauce sounding a bit heavy on the stomach. So I've opted for the chicken fillet with tomato sauce, risotto style bulgur wheat, and buckwheat. This comes with an optional Madeleine sponge cake, which is one of the most beautiful cakes you can find in France, and slices of orange and pink grapefruit, with the grapefruit being very intense. Alongside this, I requested an apple juice to refresh myself and a tea with no milk and sugar. The meal was pretty good and very tasty, but it sort of borderline felt like a Spanish paella. I just about have enough time to watch an episode of Bob's Burgers before our last visit to the bathroom, unsure exactly how long the queue for immigration will be. And then the sun disappears just as we arrive into Colombia.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. So I've just bought myself what's called a Lugo fruit ice cream from McDonald's. It is absolutely delicious. But Air France was such a good experience. There's two different products, one with the doors. The one I ended up with was out the doors, but I'm not really bothered because the privacy is so good. As for the food, it's France, so if they're serving crap food, then there's something really, really wrong. Cabin crew were absolute delight and joy. Consistent service, good food, champagne of course because it's France, and wine. Don't expect things like mocktails because it's just not the French way, but absolute delight, joyful. Thank you for watching.
And if you're interested, over the next few days we flew Avianca, who disappointed, and Latam, who did not, before our flight home on sister company KLM, with a wonderful surprise equipment swap to a newer Boeing 777-200. If you want to see why we highly rate the experience, you can click the link at the end.